Well, welcome everybody here to the Sports Talking Network. Welcome to this channel. Welcome specifically tonight, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, predicting WWE No Mercy 2017 edition. Looking forward to this pay-per-view. Certainly going to be interesting. I know most. There's some that I've talked to, and otherwise I've been hearing on the interwebs, Twitter and otherwise, that this pay-per-view is pretty much just going to be built around two matches, being Roman Reigns versus John Cena, and also the WWE Universal Championship. Braun Strowman challenging Brock Lesnar there. But I think the whole entire card from bottom to top, from where I see it, I'm looking actually at the card right now. We'll read them from bottom to top. Looks pretty good. And to be quite honest, in a way, I guess, even the Finn Balor Bray Wyatt match, you can say, or you can give your argument, as everybody can with opinions, and everybody has one, that each match, each and any match could be the match of the night, depending on how it delivers. Of course, that's what I meant to say. That the card from bottom to top here, at least to me, seems like that you could have 7 people have different matches, match of the night for all these from these 7 matches here for the pay-per-view. If any matches are added between airing of the show here, tonight. Between now and Sunday, I will do my prediction at least through Twitter. So welcome to follow me on Twitter at WB_podcast. Usually there are at least 1 or 2 matches added, and usually I don't predict them and have them part of the show. But I wanted to try to start that now here moving forward. If there are matches added to said pay-per-view, whether it's this one for No Mercy or Hell in a Cell, usually pay-per-views between the Tuesday SmackDown Live and the pay-per-view event, sometimes there are matches added. And even though it's Thursday night, sometimes Friday night or even Sunday during the pre-show, a match is added. You never know. It could be that close to call, at least, for the fans hearing about it. Of course, they knew. But anyways, matches added then or whenever, then me and if others want to, part of it can give their predictions to any new matches added for sure. Again, follow me on Twitter at WB_podcast. Welcome to subscribe to this channel, like the video, enjoy it, and let people know about this show, because I do like to be as interactive as I can with people that watch live, let alone just with the people that are here in that Google Hangouts with me, part of the actual show. But I also say that you, the fans, the people that are watching live each and every time, are like a co-host in a sense, because I am communicating with you, especially if I was here by myself. It'd be one-on-one with me, Steve here, CBK. Talking WWE, talking about No Mercy, you people that in the live chat, letting me know your picks or your questions or this and that, and us just having a nice conversation like we're just friends sitting at someone's house talking No Mercy and getting ready for the pay-per-view. Ready can be relaxed, don't have to be so buttoned up in a way. Kind of atmosphere here at the Ramble here, Steve's Wrestling Ramble, but certainly going to be a fun night here. Hopefully, some guests are able to join us. I do see that are my 2 co-hosts. That now will be once in a blue moon to have them here on the show. Hopefully, at least for prediction episodes would be nice. So at least it would be twice a month, as WWE now has 2 pay-per-views per month with Raw and SmackDown exclusive brand pay-per-views, and then with the main 4, the big 4, having those dual ones. So then that one in that month. So it'd be nice to have them at least at that time. But they are busy. They have school. They have other things going on that are obviously important than a YouTube podcast. So I appreciate them being here. So let's introduce my co-hosts. First, let's introduce one that I haven't had on here for feels like many moons ago. Mark Ramble TV here on YouTube. Check him out there. But Mark, how you doing?
Hey guys. First of all, can you guys hear me fine?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. What is going on, Steve? What is going on, Kyron? It has been a long time since I've been on the podcast, and I apologize because, like you said earlier, Steve, I'm still in school, so, it just, it started up for me. I guess Kyron could say the same thing, but I'm back. Let's get this thing going. It is No Mercy prediction episode. Let's get straight to it.
And before I kick it over to Kyron, Mark, what are your hype levels for No Mercy heading in?
I'm actually looking forward to it. I think the match I'm really looking forward to the most is Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. I just want to see Braun. I got a feeling he's going to do some crazy things with Brock Lesnar. I mean, seeing the last match that they had with each other, I think it was SummerSlam, it was wild. So that is the match I'm looking forward to the most. I cannot wait until that happens. I hope it's not a disappointment, though. I really hope it's not a disappointment. I hope Braun wins, but we'll get to that later.
Exactly. Yeah, we will. And I'll just say it here, kind of as a teaser to it, is that you never know with Brock Lesnar matches, and you guys will find out in my prediction when we get there of how that match could be a dud more than a stud. Let's kick it over to Kyron Chase. Welcome to the program. Great to have you. And what is your hype level, your excitement level for No Mercy heading in?
Well, first off, I'm recording this on my cell phone, not my iPad or computer. So how well can you guys hear me?
You're pretty clear.
Sound good,
Okay.
bro.
All right. Like Mark said, I vouched for both of us in the video I did last week that why we won't be on the show as much. But I'm actually looking forward to this pay-per-view. But like you said, it's mainly because of two matches, and we know which two matches. And I'm going to have a lot to say about both matches when we get to them. My hype level on a scale from 1 to 10, I'll probably give it a 7.5, and probably more hype for this than I was for SummerSlam, mainly because of the double main event.
Okay, yeah. If I had to give it a number for my hypitude, I would probably give it a 7 out of 10. Looking forward to this pay-per-view. Like I said, from top to bottom, at least to me, top to bottom, it looks like it's going to be a quality pay-per-view. And again, as I always say, WWE, care about your other pay-per-views. Give, two kicks about it and doing something about it and trying to build it to be better than what it has been in the past. Greatly appreciated. And it seems like they've been doing that here. They did that with, excuse me, other pay-per-view in the past as well. But hopefully they can continue here with No Mercy, and No Mercy can shine like the star that it can be, and not crumble under the pressure, be that diamond in the rough. So I'm certainly looking forward to it, as you guys are as well. But let's head right into it with No Mercy, because we'll do the predictions first and then news later. First match off here for the No Mercy predictions. We'll do first the Intercontinental Championship match. The Miz, the champion, facing Jason Jordan one-on-one. No stipulation, no specialty matches, nothing like that. Just one-on-one, The Miz, Jason Jordan. We'll start with Mark Ramble. Who do you have winning this match and why?
Let's start off saying I was actually pretty disappointed with Jason Jordan winning. If I'm being honest with you, I kind of wanted Elias. Now that they don't call him Elias Sampson anymore, I kind of wanted Elias to win. I feel like even if he did lose, it would still give him the exposure that he needs. Like, I feel like this whole "who wants to take a walk with Elias" thing, I used to hate it. Probably because I never even heard of the dude at the time. But now it's starting to get catchy. So it's like, oh, okay. This guy again. But, I really wanted him to win. But, maybe they have other plans with Jason Jordan. Maybe they have other plans with Elias Sampson. I honestly want The Miz to retain this one because I just feel like this whole Miz Taraj thing is saving Bo Dallas and whatever his name is, Curtis Axel. He needs to keep the belt, one. I feel like he's a great IC champion. He hasn't been doing much with it, but at least he's better than Dean Ambrose. So The Miz.
Sorry about that, Kyron.
Honestly, this could probably be a good match. Though I don't see him putting the title on Jordan because he's just not ready for it. You have Miz, who's top 3 on the mic in the company right now. I think Miz is top 3 in the mic. The problem with Jordan is talented is in the ring. He doesn't have any charisma or personality, and people got him behind him a little bit because he had 2 back-to-back matches, great matches with Cena and Reigns. But you look on Raw, he got no reaction from the crowd, and I feel like if they put the title on him now at No Mercy, then the crowd's just gonna turn on him. I don't think he's ready. I mean, give him some time. I'd be fine with Jordan winning the IC championship, give him some time, but he's just not ready yet. I'm going to go with The Miz.
I, as well, am going with The Miz to retain the title. I think it would actually be best for Jason Jordan to not win this now, especially with the storyline, or at least how it probably would go moving forward with Jason Jordan and Kurt Angle. That probably some storyline that's started one time and then was whatever for a short time and now being picked back up. They decide to pick it up whenever they gosh darn feel like it. But either way, I think that with that moving forward, it would even be better and stronger for that storyline, if that makes sense, to not have him become the Intercontinental Champion. But here in the live chat, Sean 3 Club Direct saying hello. His excitement level is an 8.5, and he predicts Jason Jordan will win, but he also prefaces by saying also, I don't believe he's ready yet. I like Jordan's in-ring skill, but he's just not ready yet. So that's his prediction. And those others that are watching live, welcome to give your prediction of matches as we go through them as well. And I'll read them here live on air as I do each and every prediction episode if you do so decide to partake. Moving on to the next match. Excuse me. WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. The one that I was expounding upon Raw. My Raw review. WWE Cruiserweight Championship match. Neville versus Enzo Amore 1-on-1. Who do you guys have for this one? We'll start here with Kyron Chase.
I'm not even going to go deep into it. I'm picking Neville, and that's where it stands. If Enzo wins the title, then that's the final nail in the coffin of the Cruiserweight division.
Oh, there we go. Mark Ramble.
I really want Neville to win because as much as I like Enzo, he is really getting annoying. I mean, I like his swag, though. I think his swag is just untouchable. It's impeccable. But his in-ring skill is just not there. I feel like it was a smart move to put him on the Cruiserweight division. But at the same time, the Cruiserweight division is struggling bad. Like, bad. And the thing is, knowing Vince McMahon, he'll probably make Enzo win. He'll probably allow Enzo to win, and rest in peace to the Cruiserweight division. But I'm going to have to go with Neville on this one. Neville is saving, in my opinion, saving the Cruiserweight division right now. So I'm going with Neville.
All right, and I as well going with Neville to retain, as I said in my Raw review, and I said previously, if Enzo Amore wins, the only way I see him winning or wanting him to win is with the help of the Miz Taraj or the Miz himself, helping him get the win, getting the title, then him joining the Miz Taraj. I think that would be interesting in that way, but that would be the only way I would see it, because if anything else but that happens and Enzo wins the title any other way, then I'll certainly have words to say on Twitter first, and then in the review that night, Sunday night after the pay-per-view, if that does happen. Maybe I'm carrying more than I should, but that's just how I feel, and that's what I'll have to say if I have to cross that bridge. If Enzo does win, again, any other way but the help of Miz or the Miz Taraj, or all three of them combined. Sean 3 Club Garrett to go in with Neville will win. He's got to win. If Enzo wins, then that's it for the division. Neville for the win. The division is going to drop worse if Enzo wins. So that's his thoughts there on that match.
Steve, you're going to go raunchy Mikey on this match if Enzo wins.
I'll try. Let's just put it this way. I'll try to go raunchy Mikey, but I couldn't do justice because raunchy's raunchy. That's why he is, the best at doing stuff like that. But I wouldn't say true colors coming out, but just my actual, having, not being afraid of saying something sort of thing. I'm always caring what others think and this and that because that's just my personality as a introvert. But if that does happen, it's just a big thing that would happen that would actually break me in a way that would make me go full raunchy Mikey, I guess, if you want to say that way. But respect to raunchy, obviously we're all friends. But I would go that way because it just make no damn sense. I'm sorry, just one. But anyways, moving right along. I don't want to get aggravated. I mean, we want good things to happen at this pay-per-view. Sorry, Enzo, that would not be a good thing. Again, the only way I want you to win this title is with the help of the Miz Taraj, because then having you with the Miz Taraj, that would be interesting TV, and I would actually be interested to see that because the Miz is the best at what he does as a heel on the mic and otherwise. So, okay, that's fine that way. But any other way, I'm coming at you, Enzo, that's for sure. Next match here, we got Finn Balor versus Bray Wyatt 1-on-1. Everybody knows my issues with Bray, but what are you guys' predictions for this match? 1-on-1 Finn versus Bray. No Demon Balor, no other special things going on for this match. Straight up Club Balor going 1-on-1 with Bray Wyatt. Mark Ramble, who do you have in this match and why?
I like Bray. Really, I really do. But at this point, I was expecting Balor Club to happen. I was expecting AJ, Gallows, and Anderson to come to whoever the hell Finn Balor was and create, I guess you could say, a subgroup of the Bullet Club. I mean, obviously they can't call it the Bullet Club because that's in rights of New Japan, but at least kind of give us that feel. They've been in the business, or particularly WWE, for quite some time now. I'm talking about was it Styles and Gallows and Anderson and stuff like that. So at least give us some type of hint. Give us some type of like, okay, maybe this is gonna happen. I haven't seen it happen, and God knows how long. And it's kind of making me mad. So it feels like almost as if they're not using Finn Balor right. That's just in my opinion. I don't think they're using Finn the way they should have. I think he should have been Universal Champion by now. Again, but right now he isn't. I can understand because what they're doing now, and it's great what they're doing now. But in the near future, something has to happen. I think something has to happen with Bray as well. In this match, once again, I'm gonna go with Finn Balor. I just cannot see him losing this match because that will just drop his momentum. Because right now he's going against a mid Carter. If you think about it, he's not up in those big leads with Braun and them. And it's unfortunate to say that Bray Wyatt's a mid Carter type of person because he really isn't. But it's just the way they're booked. It's terrible booking, kind of like what you say with Roman, Kyron. He's just horribly booked. He's not a bad guy. He's not awful. He's just awfully booked. So I'm gonna go with Finn. Balor Club worldwide.
Yes, Finn Faru. All right, let's head over to Kyron Chase. Who you have in this match?
Honestly, I feel this feud should have ended at SummerSlam. They're just dragging it along. So I will give him credit. I do like, how they implemented Gold Dust and things like that on how Bray was saying, oh, Finn can only beat me because he's the demon. And I love the promo Finn cut on Raw, basically saying, if the man created the demon, then which one is really more dangerous? I really like that.
Yeah, that was good. I agree.
But I'm still picking Balor because let's be honest, they don't like Bray Wyatt. I'll take my chances with almost anyone on pay-per-view over Bray Wyatt any day of the week.
Mm-hmm.
There's just no reason for this feud to continue after this. Hopefully, they both look good and it'll be a good match because they're both very good. But I'm picking Balor to win.
Right, and for me, you guys know how my feeling on Bray Wyatt is, and even though with that being said, what having a SummerSlam with the Demon Balor, getting the win, and now just being Club Balor, just being regular, and yes, he did do a pretty good job promo on Monday Night Raw with Bray, but I'm still gonna go with Bray Wyatt actually to get the win here and going another pay-per-view, maybe then finally ending the feud then, and then do that, and then heading into Survivor Series, be part of the Survivor Series team for Raw, and go from there. But I'm going to go with Bray Wyatt for the win over Finn Balor. Sean 3 Club, Garrett going with, I think Finn will win. Considering the way he has been booked, he has to win. And LPH Bronx. LPH is good on Twitter. Again, LPH Bronx saying that's so true, and I hate it. So I'm probably talking about with Finn Balor. You guys talking about him there in booking. So that's our predictions for that match. Next match up is a title match for the Raw Tag Team titles. Seth Rollins and Lunatic Fringe, Dean Ambrose against Cesaro and Sheamus. We'll start with Kyron Chase. Who do you have winning in this Raw Tag Team title match and why?
I'm picking Rollins and Ambrose. It's sad how after SummerSlam, they're pretty much not doing anything with him at this point. They're starting to become boring, and that has something to do with the fact that the tag team division is non-existent. Other than these two teams in the club, who else is there? What I would have done, I would have added the club to this match, and made it a triple threat because the triple threat tag team match they had on Raw was a very good match. So why not just save for No Mercy? But I'm picking Ambrose and Rollins to retain, and hopefully move on to something else.
All right, Mark Rambo.
I'm gonna agree with Kyron actually. I think instead of Sheamus and Cesaro, not to say that they're not a good tag team, I just think the whatever you want to call them, I keep calling them the club. But Gallows and Anderson, they should be champions again. Really, they're everybody who should be in that top spot has been poorly booked. In my opinion, I think honestly that it should be a triple threat. I'm going to agree with Kyron. And I think what should happen in the next pay-per-view is that they should steer away from Sheamus and Cesaro because they've been going at it. Sheamus and Cesaro have been going at it with the Hardy Boys, for quite some time at one point. Add somebody else into it. We all know the club, Gallows and Anderson are legit. I mean, you could take them and bring them to any wrestling promotion, and I'm sure they'll do good. And they'll do great, actually, as a matter of fact. But they've just been used so wrong. Everybody had high expectations for them. And nothing has really happened. It's kind of a disappointment. So I'm going to go back to the match. I just want Rollins and Ambrose to win. I feel like in the near future, they've been teasing the Shield reunion on social media and all this stuff. I think their minds, the creative team's minds have been open. There's going to be a Shield reunion at some point. Just when. But I'm going to go with Rollins and Ambrose to retain the Raw Tag Team belts and probably lose it in like 3 pay-per-views from now.
Hey, we'll see. Before I give my prediction for this match, I'm going to go to Sean 3 Club Garrett here on the live chat. Again, thanks to Sean and others here in the live chat. They're there. Others that are there, because I see a couple are watching. Also, welcome to share your predictions during, if you care to. But his prediction for this one says the Raw Tag Team titles, I believe Rollins and Ambrose will win. Then they could start a program with a debuting Authors of Pain. But I agree with Kyron.
Ooh, I like that.
It should have been a triple threat. So I'm going to retire. My prediction is Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins. What I want, when I said over on Talking WWE today earlier, where we did our predictions for the same set pay-per-view. Again, Talking WWE with Jay. Check that channel out, subscribe, and ring the bell over there. But I was saying over there, what I would want to happen next is instead of going back to the club. Yeah, they're good, they're talented, they're awesome, good for them. But I'm kind of getting sick and tired of this revolving door with the club, Cesaro and Sheamus, or others like them, or the New Day now on SmackDown Live, but even though they're out of the Tag Team Champions over there on SmackDown Live. But the point is, just regurgitating them and being them in the title feuds and this and that. How about we have something different, somewhat of a fresh pace, change things up? I mean, why the heck not, WWE? So the way you shake things up, or at least change it up just a little bit, is you have, I don't know, let's say the Miz Taraj, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel going for the Raw Tag Team titles. Whether they're winning or not, whatever, do what you want to do, WWE, but at least have them in contention and have them actually doing something beyond just being Mrs. You know what? So I think it would be best for those two to be able to be actually in the tag team division, going for the Raw Tag Team titles again, whether they win or lose, whatever. But I think that would be, to me personally, would be great for that to be the next feud for Rollins and Ambrose, because it is going to be a little bit until they drop the titles. And if you want maybe the club to be that team, fine, to be the tag team champions again, then you still have to have them to have challenges right before we get to that point, that end game there with Seth and Dean. Why not have the Miz Taraj? Why not have Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel getting a shot at the Raw Tag Team titles? Not going to hurt anybody. It's going to be something fresh in a way. They're in the tag team division, especially in the tag team division for the Raw Tag Team titles, specifically for that feud for that championship. I think that's, at least for me, that's the way I would want it to go after Sunday night, after this feud is ended. Cesaro and Sheamus, heck, Cesaro and Sheamus can feud with the club for all I care next, moving on from No Mercy. But for the Raw Tag Team title and that storyline and that building up to the next pay-per-view, I would have the Mr. Raj, Curtis Axel in the hunt, going after Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins for the said Raw Tag Team titles. But like I said, my prediction is Seth and Dean to retain their championships and march on as the Raw Tag Team champions. Next match, and another title match, the Raw Women's Championship in a Fatal 5-Way. I love the multi-women, multi-superstar, multi-women matches. And here we have one for the Raw Women's title. Champion Alexa Bliss against Sasha Banks, against Bayley, who just came back, and might as well throw her in there, against Nia Jax, and Emma is there too. So Fatal 5-Way there. We'll start with Mark Ramble. Who do you have winning the Raw Women's title? And who do you see also eating the pin, and any other stuff you have to say on this match?
Honestly, I'm gonna say this. I'm kind of tired of these multi-women matches. I feel like it's just a way to keep all of these women wrestlers relevant. I feel like there should be more one-on-one matches, but I think the reason why there aren't as many one-on-one matches is because with some one-on-one, well, let's just say the multi-women matches are more entertaining to watch. I think from what I noticed from when I watch, I think the multi-women matches are more entertaining than the one-on-one matches because sometimes you almost expect to know who's gonna win in some cases. Uh, for me, I really want Nia Jax to win, honestly, but I don't think it's her time just yet because she needs a little bit more of a push because she's kind of just been on the coattails of Alexa Bliss, her being so-so's bodyguard or whatever like that. But Sasha Banks is in this match, right? I'm just clarifying, right?
Yeah. Sasha
Yes.
Banks. So is Bailey. So is Emma. Yeah, they're there.
Ah, man, I don't want Bailey to win at all, honestly, guys. Bailey, if she wins, I have a serious problem with that because she's just going to get booed out of the arena again. Um, you know what? I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go with Nia Jax on this one. I'm sure talking WWE Jake will love that. But I'm going to go with Nia on this one. I think it could do something with her. She could be a little champion for a little bit. But if Alexa wins, sorry, Steve, I'm got a problem with that too. So I'm going to go with Nia Jax.
Okay. That's fine. Hey, it's all right to have an opinion that's opposite from each other. It's all good. But no, Jay, I'm talking to WJ. He would greatly appreciate it. I might even let him know that. Check out. Even though I'm sure he'll be watching at some point, anyways. But yeah, he approves that message 100% because he on his show. I don't know if you saw it yet. I assume not. You're busy stuff, but over there, check that out when you can. I'm talking WJ. Our predictions that I think should be up on the channel by now, but whenever it is, uploaded there for the predictions for No Mercy. He actually predicts it the other way, and then later on talks about how he'll be kicking himself if Nia actually wins. But he has other interesting predictions to say the least there, so definitely check that out. When everybody check that out when you can over at Talking WBJ. But let's move on to Kyron Chase. Who do you see leaving No Mercy, leaving the Raw Women's Champion?
First, I gotta agree with Mark when he said he's tired of all these multi-women matches, even though they've been good. It's starting to get boring. I feel that after this match,
no, go on.
I feel after this match, let a bunch of feuds branch out from this. You let Alexa feud with Nia after this, and Sasha can feud with Emma, and Bailey can feud with say Asuka when she comes to the main roster. Get 3 good feuds out of this match. Who am I picking? I see Nia Jax dominating this match, and she's gonna probably hit Emma with the Samoan drop. But Alexa's gonna sneak in and win and pin Emma to retain the title. They obviously they're gonna want to put the title on Nia, especially with Asuka coming up very soon. But I don't think it's time now. Let the feud between her and Alexa build up more so Asuka take the title. I think just having their match on Raw and with Nia winning cleanly, while it makes Nia look good, I think you could have saved that for a bigger show or pay-per-view. So I'm picking Alexa to retain by pinning Emma because she's an afterthought in this match. She's the last person I'm going to pick to win. And Mark, as much as I love Bailey, I got to agree with you in saying, I don't want her to win for the reasons you pretty much said. But then again, I said to be creative, taking something that was easy to book and ruining it. So I'm going with Alexa.
I'm going with Alexa Bliss as well to retain the Raw Women's Championship. It seems like for every time we go into a pay-per-view with Nia Jax in a title match or pretty much in herself, she's always the one that quote unquote has the last laugh. Over on the Go Home show, it was like this past Raw this week, heading into No Mercy, meaning probably that she will be least likely to win on Sunday. But I'm gonna go with Alexa Bliss. Strong through clip correct. I'm saying I believe Alexa Bliss will retain, then start a rivalry with Nia Jax, and I believe Emma will take the pinfall or possibly Bailey, considering her recent booking. I agree there with Emma. I'm going to go with Emma actually being the one taking the pin. Alexa Bliss pinning Emma and winning, because as of right now, it's not an elimination match unless something happens in the pre-show and it's announced out being that way as it is right now, and as we're predicting as it be. I'm having Emma take the pin, eat the pin, and Alexa Bliss to retain just straight up in that way. And moving on to our two main events already. First off, we'll start off with John Cena versus Roman Reigns. For me, at least, was the hardest one to predict of all on the card. Let's start with Kyron Chase. Did you have winning here one-on-one, Cena or Reigns?
Well, guys, this is going to be one of those matches where before I give you my prediction, I'm going to go on a small little rant. First off, let me just say, you guys know I'm a huge John Cena fan. You also know I feel Cena's one of the top three in the company on the mic. Him is Heyman, him and The Miz. And let's be honest, he's been owning Roman Reigns on the mic. They're trying to recreate, Cena and Rock with a bunch of things that seem like it's a shoot. But the problem is Roman doesn't have the charisma that either John or Rock had to make it work. Roman, and you see this in his promos, he has to rely on swear words, using the S word and the B word. Like, if that's where if you have to rely on swearing to win a promo debate, then you're looking desperate. And Roman, and the thing about Roman, while he has said some good stuff, he's basically saying the same things the Miz and AJ Styles said in their feud with John Cena earlier this year. But he doesn't have the mic skills that either one of those two said, have to make it look, to make it good. Also, when Miz and AJ said the things they said about John and Roman saying, you believed it. With Roman, like, dude, you're getting the same, you're pretty much the second John Cena. So you don't really have a right to say these things. John just been exposing Roman on the mic. And the problem is, we know Roman's going to win this match. He's going to win because, let's be honest, you know that's what they're going to do because no matter what, they still want him to be number one in the company. And they feel, we put him over Undertaker, that didn't work. So let's see if we can put him over Cena, and that's going to get him over. And the sad thing about it is, guarantee you come Sunday, most of the crowd's going to be behind John Cena. When's the last time that happened in a pay-per-view match where most of the crowd was behind John Cena? But I think it'll be a pretty good match, but Roman will win.
Okay, Mark Rambo.
Guys. I once upon a time was a very, 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 very big John Cena fan. Specifically in the Thugonomics Chain Gang days, where he wasn't so-called a Boy Scout. You flash forward about 8 years, 9 years later, probably 10 years later, and this guy is making movies, on TV shows, hosting award events, and all this stuff. John Cena, if he wins, in my opinion, is burying talent. And I know, Kyron, you have a different approach to it. The reason I'm saying it is because of this. If he does win, what good is that going to do with Roman Reigns? Because let's think about this. John Cena is going to leave again.
Yes.
John Cena is not going to be there much longer because I heard he's filming a Transformers movie or something like that.
That's correct.
And then at the same time, Roman Reigns has to feed off of the feet of somebody who's barely there. That's not going to work out at all on Roman Reigns' behalf. It's going to make it even more difficult for Roman Reigns to come out of whatever hole he's going to be in because he's going to be in it. But at the same time, he has Vince McMahon on Vince McMahon is on his side. So that's the benefit of the doubt regarding Roman Reigns. I just cannot see John Cena winning this one. It just wouldn't make sense. I mean, hell, he's been cutting some really, 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 really good promos. Like some promos I wouldn't even expect. Some things that he would say, I would just be like, wow, did he really just say that? He's exposing Roman Reigns. And Roman Reigns, like you said, Kyron, is coming up with some swear words to elevate the whole feud. And I think it's cool, but you can't do it consistently, like kind of how he's been doing it. So Roman Reigns really needs this win. I think this is more of a WrestleMania match. I don't know why they did it so early, really, unless they're doing a part 2 or whatever. But yeah, I'm going with Roman Reigns on this one. Roman needs this.
Actually, Mark, I'm going to get into why they're doing this match now when we get to the main event. And Steve, for you, I just want to respond to the fact that I agree with what you said about Roman having to win this match. But I look at this like I looked at Cena and The Rock going at WrestleMania 28. Let's be
Mm-hmm.
honest. No matter who you wanted to win that match, John really needed to win that match more than The Rock did.
Oh,
Because
absolutely.
for the same reason. So having him lose that match was a stupid decision, if you ask me. And I'm not saying it because he's my favorite wrestler. I'm saying the fact that if John had beaten Rock at WrestleMania 28, you could have just done it once in a lifetime and not done it again. And the next year, you could have fought
Ah,
CM Punk at WrestleMania 29 in the main event. And if that happened and Punk got the main event, whether he won or lost, he might still be with the company this very day.
but you
Uh,
see,
and
But
but
and also, uh, you go ahead.
but I was gonna say, but you see, like if John Cena did win, considering how The Rock was, I think The Rock he was in WWE more than John Cena was right now. I think so. I think the reason why they did a part two was because one, it almost made John Cena look even stronger. He looked more he looked less of a Boy Scout John Cena, more of like, okay, I'm gonna go beat your ass type of John Cena,
And
and
that's
there's
why he should
nothing
have
you.
won.
And then I think that's why they allowed The Rock to win the first time to make him look legit the second time, but everybody kind of knew that The Rock can't win twice. This was gonna be once in a lifetime, but the second one could possibly be even better than the first one, which made John Cena victorious and The Rock kind of respecting him at the end because that both of those matches were great. I mean, we can't deny that.
I
It
wouldn't say
just
they were both great.
I thought they were great. I thought they were good. Um, but and also money plays a role in it too. Don't forget Vince McMahon is responsible for WWE, so as
Yep.
much money as he's getting, that was a money match, and I think we all could agree on that one.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
WrestleMania 28 is the most bought pay per view in WWE history. Why do you think that?
Absolutely,
Because of who headlined it. I just feel
exactly.
like with everything John said about Roman, if he doesn't win, I'll be honest, he really shouldn't win. If we're being honest, he shouldn't. But with everything he said, things of I'm here because you can't do your job right. I'm a drug test. You can't pass me. If John doesn't back it up and win, then everything he said doesn't mean anything.
Hmm.
that's understandable. Just to get my 2 cents here on the John Cena versus Rock back in WrestleMania 20 time. For me, I thought that it was going to be, and probably was, and I still stick to this. It was going to be once in a lifetime. Cena going over the Rock, kind of a passing of the torch, certain in WWE's eyes in that way, having John beat the Rock there. But I think they're so popular and how much money they make, and um, by rates and all the other stuff. The money aspect and the business side of it. Also, maybe, and I'm not accusing the Rock of this, but the Rock didn't want to put Cena over at that WrestleMania. Maybe wanted to win this one since it was in his hometown of Miami, Florida, and win there, and then had Cena get a win at the next pay-per-view or the next WrestleMania, and then that WrestleMania he won the title from The Rock after The Rock beat CM Punk at the Royal Rumble that year, subsequently. So I think maybe that all played into it, and the reason why they had a second in a lifetime. I really do think that we wanted it to be just once in a lifetime, one match. People were waiting to see Cena versus The Rock, kind of like now Cena versus Undertaker. People wanted to see, but Cena versus Rock at that time, having actually be once in a lifetime, stick to that. But because of the other extenuating circumstances surrounding it, from outside and otherwise, in other words, then that had to, or just then decide, okay, we're going to do this again the next year, have a whole year build, and have Cena then go over the title and have that moment with them embracing all the other stuff. So I think that be the reason why we had that second match because of what could have been with the first match. Because again, I always think that it was supposed to be once in a lifetime, and it was supposed to be Cena getting the win there, passing the torch and moving on from there. But here, this Sunday with Roman Reigns, the difference Samoa, the face Cena. I go with Roman Reigns getting the win here. I'd be very surprised if Cena wins. The way I would see Cena winning this is if, and crazier things happen. But Cena, they might just throw him in and give him a title reign, the Universal title. But that's the only way I would see a reasoning to have John Cena beat Roman Reigns here on Sunday night. Then otherwise, I wouldn't say that for the least. So my pick is Roman Reigns. Heading here into the live chat, Sean Garrett going, I'm a huge John Cena fan, but I expect Roman to win. Cena's owning him on the mic, but Roman Reigns is obviously winning. I also heard rumors of Undertaker returning, but I highly doubt that. And Roman Reigns is going to win because I believe that Cena said Vince is making him Cena 2.0, and Cena's going back to Hollywood soon, so I see Roman winning. And hello also to Gary Carmen, who's here in the live chat saying hello. He would like to see Taker come in and do that, but you can then have Cena Taker at the next pay-per-view and Roman at the next after that, then do Cena and Roman again down the line. And talk about if Undertaker does come back, because those rumors are true at that point. So thanks, Garrett, for coming on. Welcome to give your predictions to all the matches that we have already spoke to. Now we're heading to the main event. From the crowd, that everybody's been waiting for, looking forward to. I know from what I've been hearing on the Twitter and hearing on other social media platforms, otherwise, that consensus saying that we all better or should or whatever pick Braun Strowman because of their opinions there. But we'll see where we all go, and we'll start with Mark Ramble. Where do you go here for the WWE Universal Championship match? We got Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar.
Man, I want to go with Braun Strowman, and I will go with Braun Strowman, but knowing how things are going, Brock Lesnar probably is going to win. Because what I think is going to happen is this. Braun Strowman is going to completely bully Brock Lesnar for about 75% of the match. And then out of nowhere, just like John Cena in some matches, comes out of nowhere and just miraculously beats whomever he's going against. But in this case, for Brock Lesnar, it would be Braun Strowman. I want to wish that won't happen, but there's a good chance that it will. Because once Braun Strowman gets hit with the fifth, notice I said the fifth, not the first, because the way he got up last time, the way Braun Strowman got up last time when Brock Lesnar suplexed him, it was not good. I'm saying within the fifth suplex, if Brock Lesnar can hit it, could determine if he's going to win. But predominantly, Braun Strowman is going to manhandle Brock Lesnar the way he has the past 2 weeks, really. But don't get me wrong, Brock Lesnar is a complete beast. That man is an animal. I just don't know, but I'm like so over the edge because 50% of me is saying Braun, 50% of me is saying Brock, and it's so hard to choose because if you think about it, there's been rumors about Brock Lesnar come back to UFC. But they've denied it, I think, or something like that, or they said that he's in the testing stage or whatever in case he has any steroids or whatever. That's just from what I heard. Shout out to Bleacher Report. But I don't know. I'm gonna have to go with Braun. I want Braun to win this one. But if I'm wrong, I'm not even gonna be mad. I'm gonna go with Braun Strowman.
All right, Aaron, Chase.
The Beast Incarnate versus the Monster Among Men. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman. We've been waiting for this match for so long, since the night of WrestleMania. This match, you know me, my heart says Braun Strowman. My head says Brock Lesnar. I never go hard over head with my predictions. With WWE anyway. So I'm going to predict Brock Lesnar to win. I said it before and I'll say it again. Braun Strowman is the best and my favorite thing in WWE at the moment. And I feel like, Mark, I agree with you. It should, unlike Joe, this should take less than 5 to beat Brock Lesnar in like 20 suplexes. Because the man got up after one suplex. This ain't going
Exactly.
This is one of the few times. Now I know Joe did it too, but even I feel it now. Brock looks weak and looks vulnerable, and you believe it. This isn't one of those times where Brock really, like with Roman. Well, granted, they didn't really get in a physical altercation, but you never believe Roman is gonna beat Brock. You don't believe he can beat Brock Lesnar. I look at Braun Strowman, he can beat Brock Lesnar, and I believe he can. And let me go back to what I said earlier. How I was gonna link Cena and Reigns to this. Brock's gonna win because no matter how much we don't want it, their end game is still Lesnar versus Reigns at WrestleMania. They sacrifice Undertaker. John Cena, Samoa Joe, and now Braun Strowman for Roman Reigns to go over Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. I don't want it. I want Braun to win because Braun deserves it. He's gotten so much better in the ring, so much better on the
Mm-hmm.
mic, and like there's if we do awards, I know they might not do Slammys anymore, but if we do awards, not only do I think Braun Strowman should get Breakout Star of the Year, much as I know we all love AJ Styles, Braun Strowman should get WWE's MVP of the year. And it's said that he won't win. They're gonna give it to Lesnar, even though we all want Strowman to win. So I'm going with Brock Lesnar.
All right. Before I give my prediction or Sean here in the live chat's prediction for the main event, I want to throw this out to both of you. Whoever wants to answer first can jump at it and have at it. But do any of you fear that this match could be a squash match and Brock destroying Braun because of Braun getting over each and every dang week?
If they do that, then that will destroy Braun Strowman. I'm fine. I mean, I could take a loss. Like I said, if like it takes Brock like 3 suplexes and Brock looks weak, I'll take that because unlike some people, I don't think a loss equals burial. It's a thing called looking strong in defeat, and as long as they make Strowman look very strong, I can handle a loss. If a squash happens and Strowman's not squashing Lesnar, if Strowman gets squashed, then everything you've done to make Braun Strowman look good over last year is automatically evaporated. It's gone. It doesn't matter. So I'm sorry, but that squash is the last thing they're gonna do. And remember, Vince McMahon likes big sweaty men. And unlike some of them, Braun Strowman is actually a good wrestler.
Mark?
I fear it 100%. I'm not gonna lie. It's like, man, if that happens, I'm gonna agree with Kyron. That is going to kill Braun Strowman. That's gonna hurt him really, really, really bad. Really bad. Think about it. What's next? I mean, you were pushed to probably one of the highest platforms in WWE of the main roster possible, and to make it a squash match in which you are losing, not going out strong. I mean, that's bad, bad, bad. You can't come back from that, and if it is, it's going to be a long time. So I do fear that. Hopefully, it doesn't happen though.
Well, definitely. Hopefully, it does not happen. I mean, even I, who's more of a Brock fan than Braun fan and everything, doesn't even want to see Brock squash Braun, especially how everything they've done to building up Braun and making him that monster among men that he has right now. Sean Three Club Critic saying, "Oh well, here I obviously see Brock winning because of the rumors of Brock versus Roman at Mania 34. Also, I've seen this before. Braun dominates Brock heading into the match, then Brock will dominate the match. But I need and want Strowman to win, but I know deep down Brock will win, but I want Strowman to take it here. Yes, sadly, I think it'll be a squash match, but they better not do it. And LPH is good here, chiming in. But what if Strowman wins, but lose the title at Roman's Reigns, and you still have Brock versus Roman at WrestleMania, but this time Roman Reigns is the Universal Champion, is the champion. Well, that's an interesting web you weave there, LPH. Certainly would be interesting in that way, but for me, I'm simply going with Brock Lesnar to retain the title here. We just march along. I still say a pretty long, decent match, 30 minutes at least, and having Brock go over Braun, taking 3 F5s or something or whatever, and going from there. We might even see another spot like we saw on like a Raw a couple weeks ago when Brock tried to do the suplex and Braun just got right back up. Probably might see that spot early in the match, just showing that dominance of Braun and all this other stuff, not being afraid and all those things they can say. And I'm sure Cole will say on commentary at that moment again if it happens. I just have a feeling that we'll see that again. That exact same spot at the pay-per-view at some point. Maybe not in the early parts like I'm predicting and thinking, but I do think that'll happen again. Brock going for the suplex. Maybe after Braun is, attacking him so well or beating him down and then Brock's trying to get back. does one try to do one suplex, but Braun just gets back up, and then him finding another way to take down Braun and getting the win. So I go with Brock Lesnar to retain, and that to be the way to end a pay-per-view. I don't know if I'm going to do any live reaction to any of the matches. Part of me wants to for the Cena Reigns and then the women's Fatal 5-Way, but probably won't. I will though be up here on the channel of the podcast for my review right after the show does end. So whether my team does join me or anybody else wants to join me, I know Mounty's Corner might be joining me there for a review after the show. So if anything, it might be Mounty and me one-on-one talking WWE No Mercy and everything going down there. One last thing to talk about with the pay-per-view and ask you guys this question: what match heading into the pay-per-view do you think for you could be, should be, and will be the match of the night? Karen?
I see multiple matches being the match of the night. The tag team title match could be match of the night. Cena and Reigns could be match of the night. Lesnar and Strowman could be match of the night. For me, it all depends on what you're looking for. We know Lesnar and Strowman is just going to be a car crash match. We know that. I think Cena and Reigns might be a little bit the same. It's just going to be like a grand match, a lot of finishes and things like that. If you're looking for something more technical, it'd be Jordan and Miz. And the tag team title match, was good at SummerSlam, but probably good at No Mercy. But I think the match tonight will be Lesnar and Strowman because just the complete excitement and destruction we're going to get in that match, we're all going to love it.
All right, Mark?
I'm going to go with definitely Braun Strowman and Brock Lesnar. That match, I think, has a lot of hype surrounding it. Like, I think Kyron just said that. Oh, I'm not sure. The match has a lot of hype to it. And it can't disappoint. It's two big-name wrestlers, big-name stars, one rising star, tremendously gone from the Wyatt family to a monster among men. I mean, that's a huge transformation if you look at it. Yeah, it's going to be really, 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 really good. It better be. Better be good.
And for me, I would probably go match of the night being that women's Fatal 5-Way or even the John Cena Roman Reigns one-on-one match.
I forgot about that.
for a match of the night there for me personally. But certainly looking forward to the whole entire card. Like I said, from top to bottom, looks like something that could do very well and be a pretty good pay-per-view in that way. Sounds like I was saying, I think the match of the night could be Braun versus Brock. There's a lot of hype. They should just let them destroy each other. They're still talking about Brock and Braun Strowman there. But that's pretty much it for No Mercy predictions. The only really big news I wanted to bring up here is, and even WWE did in a video on their YouTube channel, and that being, as you guys heard, my opening theme for the intro and will be for the outro is Paige's theme song. Paige coming back WWE and user. What do you guys think of that happening? Paige and her return. Where do you think she'd be fitting in? Who do you think she should feud with first? All that other jazz. How do you see her coming back in the fold in WWE? Kyron?
Honestly, as long as Paige is willing to put the past year behind her, I'm fine with her coming back. She's a great talent. Let people forget about that. She's good on the mic, and people love her. Now, as to who she should feud with and what show she should go on, that's a tough one. I mean, technically she was drafted to Raw, but she never appeared on Raw once since the brand split. I think she should go to SmackDown because Raw struck big with getting Asuka, even though I'm not really, enthusiastic with her being on Raw, but that's another story.
Exactly.
I think going to SmackDown would be good. Let's be honest, SmackDown's women's division isn't really looking very good because up until 2 days ago, the two best women in SmackDown's women's division, Charlotte and Becky, hadn't really been on SmackDown for weeks, and you could tell the division wasn't doing good because of it. I would put Paige on SmackDown, and I'm excited for her return. As long as, like I said, as long as she's willing to put everything behind her.
Mark?
I agree with you, Kyron, man. I think recently she's had a very, very, very hard year that she went through. From the tapes to the situation with Alberto Del Rio, the videos just popped online with Alberto Del Rio just going off on WWE, and then the whole airport incident. Her family talking about Alberto Del Rio. It's been a lot. It has been a lot, and for some reason, she's managed to stay, calm under pressure because that was a lot of stuff on her. Her even going through the neck injury too. I think it was a neck injury that she had. It was just a lot on her. It's a lot of stress too, and she's young. For her to go through all that, it's just unnecessary. I feel like I'm gonna bring back an old opinion of mine regarding the tapes that were leaked. Whoever did that, really, just you have no life. That's just how I think. You must have no life to ruin somebody else's just for publicity, and even then, nobody knows who did it. Like, what is your whole point behind doing all that? But I want her to go to SmackDown as well. I think that'd be the best fit for her because Raw's already stacked. Raw has a very, very, very talented women's roster. I really wanted Asuka to go to SmackDown.
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
wanted her to go there so bad because Raw has everybody that they need. They just don't use them. Asuka would be the perfect fit for SmackDown. They need somebody like her, like bad.
especially
Bad.
and especially you could have done. Oh, I know that you got to build it up, but let's be honest. We all want to see Charlotte versus Asuka. We all want that
Oh
match.
yes,
Well, heck,
absolutely.
and that's why I think they went with Asuka going to Monday Night Raw. As I even told Kevin, I think in an episode past, we talked about this where we talked about Asuka coming to Raw. That being decided that okay, I'm seeing that the reason that WWE did that, in my opinion, that could be because they're waiting longer to have a Asuka versus Charlotte match, and that's them think, and people like us and others in the WWE universe wanting that and crave it more and more. Maybe hardcore founder and this and that, and then finally getting it maybe at a WrestleMania or SummerSlam next year, SummerSlam 2018 in the Barclays, and having that match, and maybe even with those the two best women wrestlers in professional wrestling. I don't care what anybody else says. That's my opinion there. Charlotte Charlotte Flair being number one, but having those two do the best in a match could even get the women a main event at SummerSlam, main eventing the show, even over a WWE title, Universal title, whatever other title, depending on how those storylines are going in at that time. So that could be the case, and that certainly would be interesting. So that's why I think Asuka went to Raw. Plus, Raw is still the WWE, the flagship, whether or not we think Raws have been good or bad with their shows, being 3 hours, go back to 2. And either way, that they thought that, or they believe having Asuka there on that flagship show, on the Monday Night Raw, maybe there, and having her there as part of the Raw women's division, kind of in a way rejuvenizing that division, even with the great talent that they have. To also, that does include Sasha Banks and Bayley and Alexa Bliss leading that charge on Raw as a champion, not just as a champion, but as the best on the end, on the mic and in the ring for the Raw women's brand. So now you have Paige coming back, and Paige technically was drafted, if I remember correctly, to Monday Night Raw. So how would they have her coming back as a free agent? Would they go with that storyline, just like they do currently?
That's what I heard
with John Cena.
That's what I heard, though.
Because if that's the case, then have, as you guys have been saying, and me as a Team Blue guy, have Paige over on SmackDown Live. Because if SmackDown Live wasn't able to get, or quote unquote, get Asuka, and WWE decided to have us put Asuka over on Raw, then I think it would be best for business and best for Paige and best for SmackDown Live as a show to have Paige over there on that show and running to see competition there. Because as great as Paige is, and as great as it might be also to add Paige over on Raw, especially with the Emma dynamic, with Emma still showing her gums and talking about her being started the women's revolution. You could have Paige coming back and say, "No, girl, I did," sort of thing, and have that be the first feud, as I've been hearing in rumors. I don't know, because at some point then Paige will run into the buzzsaw that is Nia Jax, and then also the buzzsaw that is Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Asuka. So you have a better chance for Paige, that we're talking about, Paige to do better and thrive more on SmackDown Live. And I didn't mean to interrupt you guys, so say what you
Oh no,
want to
you
say.
good. You good. I was just gonna say, and to top that, you know, her, if she was to go on Raw, there's been rumors swirling around that Ronda Rousey is coming to Raw to go against Sasha Banks or something like that. That's from what I heard. If that actually happens, SmackDown, the women's roster is going to look weak, completely weak. I mean, just it's going to look sad almost. Honestly, what I think they could have done with Asuka was they could have made her a free agent temporarily. They could kind of build a feud or not a feud. Why do I keep saying feud? A storyline regarding who is going to get Asuka. She could kind of, wrestle for a certain brand for a certain period, kind of have like backstage, scenes where, you could see possibly the struggle of who is going to get who and kind of build like a hype and make it surround like, okay, Oscar's really this good for people who've never seen her before. Because I know a lot of people who haven't watched NXT. They just heard of the name Oscar and they're like, okay, maybe she is that good, and then maybe in a perfect world she goes to SmackDown. But obviously, we know this isn't a perfect world. I don't think it would ever will be. Um, yeah, it's just the everyday struggle of a WWE fan.
Here's honestly what I would have done with Oscar. I think I said this last week, but I'll reiterate it. I would not even announce that she was coming to the main roster. I would have
Oh, that would have
had
been good.
like we all know she's coming up because of her injury. She vacated the title. The and understand this to be a risk for casual fans not know who she is when she shows up. But we know she's coming to the main roster. We don't know when, and they keep it that way. They don't have any video packs, anything like that. Here's what they do: they either on Raw or SmackDown, they have her at a pay per view, or even at the end of a SmackDown, attack a huge name. Like if she goes to SmackDown, she attacks either Charlotte or Becky. She goes to Raw, either Sasha or Bailey. And I know a lot of people don't want her to be a heel, but she's best as an anti-hero anyway, as a tweener anyway. And like even to the casual fans who don't watch NXT, they think, wow, this woman just attacked the four horsewomen. She obviously must be a big deal. Let me look into her. There you go. And I think that would work because wow, like that'd be a really good debut. But just announce her debut, I think that's kind of a weak move. That's just how I would have booked it.
Okay, let's dive in back here to the live chat, see what Sean and others are saying. Sean 3 Club Correct saying here, Truett has a lot of hype. They should just let. Oh no, that was the other one. Paige should go down to SmackDown since Asuka's heading to Raw. They need her on SmackDown Live. She could definitely bring the SmackDown Women's division up and help them a lot. Also saying just don't put her on up, up, down, down on the YouTube there. That's obvious there. Michael Andrews here. Thanks for stopping by. Saying not duck that. Braun is going to kick Brock's hours. He's going to shit out of him and make him his bitch. Sorry about the profanity, but yeah, okay. Well, that's all right, Michael. That's your passion, or showing your passion of what you're saying. So he's going with Braun destroying Brock and winning that one. But Sean's saying, but seriously, Paige is a great star and could help SmackDown so much. Charlotte might be the one to end Asuka's streak. What's everyone's favorite show? Oh, he's asking us what's everyone's favorite show, Raw or SmackDown. He picks SmackDown, and then his last statement here, exactly, I agree with Kyron. It should have been a surprise. So with shows, as he brings up and asking us what show is our favorite, so I'll start with Mark Ramble. What show would you say you'd be on one side or the other, Team Red or Team Blue, Raw or SmackDown Live?
That's a hard question, really. Think about it because Raw has the audience that SmackDown should have, but SmackDown is so underrated and so good in so many different levels. Right now, I would probably go with. Good God, this is hard. Man, I would have to go with. Forget it. I'm going with SmackDown because one, my guy AJ Styles is up there, and if I had the opportunity to wrestle with him, I would make the most out of it. And also, I feel like they have a great, feud. They have the opportunity to do things that I think Raw probably wouldn't. They're more riskier because Raw is the flagship show. They can't do things because everybody watches Raw. But I feel like sometimes SmackDown could get away with stuff that Raw can't. I'm gonna go with SmackDown. SmackDown. I think that's the squad right now.
There you go. Kyron.
I'm with Mark. This is a hard question to answer because if you had asked me this question from when the brand split first started till all the way up to WrestleMania, I would have said SmackDown easily. So, I mean, from when the brand split started till I'll say the SmackDown before WrestleMania. SmackDown was, it was a SmackDown Live's golden era at that point. It was amazing. The show was great. Now, the shake up and Jinder Mahal being WWE champion. Let's be honest, we all thought it was funny at first, but now it's really annoying. And both shows have strong points and low points. Both tag team divisions are not very good. Both women's divisions could use work. I was about to, but I just stopped myself because I think that's disrespectful to say. But the Raw women's division I think is good, but the SmackDown's main event scene, with Jinder Mahal being champion is not very, is bad. Let's be honest. And so I'll probably say Raw, but any given week could be either show. Like this week, I'll be honest, neither really show was very good, but I would have given it to SmackDown this week. Right now, I'll be honest, I know it's a cop out, but I'm Team Purple. I'm in between. And I'm not just saying it's purple, and I'm not just saying it's purple my favorite color, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. All right. I'm gonna go with, as I always say, I don't hide how I feel, so I always have said I'm Team Blue. I'm gonna stick it there, and stay with that, and be consistent in that way. With the question asked by Sean Duas, I'm going with SmackDown Live. I just think with 2 hours and how the show flows so well, and it has for so long since it started. And as I've said, and I'll always keep tooting my own horn in this sense of, I said it before the brand split and brand extension was even announced, whether as a rumor or then actually announced by WWE to happen, that having the brand extension, having SmackDown going live and everything is going to be what it used to be what it was when it started, the Rock show and everything, being as it was called SmackDown still today. So SmackDown being now live, being SmackDown Live and everything, being so good that 2 hours are over. Can't believe 2 hours went by, and you're wanting more each and every week after the shows. I mean, they're not perfect all the time, and it's kind of hard to be that, but they are pretty dang good and are consistent in that way in their booking of their shows. At least to me, I would say SmackDown Live being, for me, I'd be Team Blue and over there on SmackDown. Sean here saying, good choice, Mark, with the thumbs up emoji. The promo Jinder cut recently were just bad, no words for it. So Team Purple, so Cruiserweight. Just kidding. Talking about the Team Purple there. But either way, well, I don't think anybody's going to be Team Purple if Jabroni over there, Enzo, wins the title on Sunday. But anyways, again, I'll talk about that if that ever actually happens on Sunday night with the review. So people definitely want to watch that, especially if Enzo wins. Again, if Enzo wins any other way, but the help of the Miz and Mizraj, or all three of them combined, then, to come here and see the Wrestling Ramble and to my review show after the show ends, obviously 10 minutes after, whatever minutes after that I go live, I'll be sharing things, opinions. Someone might have to get Raunchy Mike on the horn, on the phone, or somehow, and let him know, hey, Steve is going to actually, share actual thoughts and feelings that are deeper than just generic. So that definitely will be happening, if that indeed happens. First, I'll share my thoughts on Twitter in a nice, calm way. And then when we get on camera and I go live, then it won't be so pleasant. So, again, I'm just trying to leave it at that. Otherwise, I would go on a rant now. But why go on a rant now? Because it hasn't happened yet. So, hey, you never know. It might not even be needed to happen because Neville might just kick his ass and win in 2 minutes. So, either way, we'll certainly see how that goes. All right. Anyways, with that, I don't think there's any other news or notes from either of us or all of us pertaining to WWE, not that I know of. I did want to share that I did on the SmackDown Live review. I believe I'm pretty sure I did. Thoughts and condolences. Bobby Heenan, his family, Cindy, and family and friends, and WWE, his WWE family, and otherwise. So everybody here at the Ramble, here at Steve's Wrestling Ramble, give our condolences there. Rest in peace, Bobby the Brain Heenan.
One of the greatest ever.
Never, I was not alive during his run in WWE, but I heard a lot of great things. I've seen a lot of great things about him. Rest in peace, man. Seriously,
Yeah, me too. I mean,
seriously.
I was born in 2000, so I didn't get to see his best work. But the beauty of DVDs and the network, you get to go back and
Exactly.
watch him managing legends and listen to his commentary. And let's be honest, his chemistry with Gorilla Monsoon was amazing. Every
Hilarious. They
time,
were hilarious.
hilarious. The things he said, I'd be watching, for example, watching a DVD with my grandmother, and we just be laughing at some of the things he had said. And one thing I love about Bobby Heenan, he was never afraid to look, foolish, um, on camera for the fans. One of
Mhm.
my favorite Bobby Heenan moments, besides any of his commentary, was the night on Raw. I don't remember what year it was, maybe '93 or something. I don't remember off the top of my head. Was when he got fired from Raw and Gorilla Monsoon threw him out of the arena. If you haven't seen that, it's one of literally the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like I was actually going to say for you and Mark and all those that might not have been born during his time when he shined and everything during his career, W Network 9.99. Just search Bobby Heenan, and you'll get all that great content there for sure. But it was one that was going to come, because he was battling illness and he was sick for a very long time, actually. And I actually thought this news was going to be dropping sooner than it did. And when it did, it still was a surprise and shocking to me. Um, the wrestling death that hit me the hardest, still to this day, um, is Eddie Guerrero. When I found out about that, and then Eddie Guerrero, and then in all sports, my number one that hit me hardest at the time was Dale Earnhardt Sr., NASCAR
Oh yeah,
driver.
yeah.
When I remember getting that phone call actually from my aunt. I remember we were having dinner because the race was ending and everything, and the family was having dinner, and I was just about to finish and cleaning up and everything. Like I remember that vividly, cleaning up plates and stuff, and hearing the phone ring, and it was my aunt because me and my aunt were really big and still are big into NASCAR. I'm not so as much as she still is, but I try to watch as much as I can during a season. And shout out to NASCAR getting now to the playoffs, or the 10 races there to the playoffs. Anyways, getting a call from my aunt and hearing that news, and then turning the TV back on, and this and that, and hearing everything from there. So I would say number one overall in sports, Dale Earnhardt Sr., and in pro wrestling specifically, Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie's death hit everyone hard. I will never
Ooh.
forget watching the Raw tribute show. The first 10 minutes, just seeing everyone on stage crying. It's one of the hardest things for me to watch. Even as a 17-year-old, I was 5 when it happened, but even now at the age of 17, like watching that, it's still surreal. Just like seeing all those wrestlers, not in character. Because when I was little, you don't know, wrestling's a work. You don't know that. But looking at it now, just seeing, they lost one of their best friends, and we lost a true legend that back in '05, and we missed out on so much, and we all wish we could have Eddie Guerrero back.
Yeah, that's for sure. Just trying to look here at the news or news sites and other things to see if there's any other news things to bring up here tonight to the table besides the page news of her at the performance center, and go from
Hey
there
guys,
as I try to.
What's up, Mark?
can I just say one thing regarding Eddie Guerrero? Kind of just want to give
Sure,
my
sure.
little take on it. Um, Regarding sports figures, because some people do consider wrestling or sports entertainment to be a sport. Um, I actually remember that he did collapse in the, I guess you could say, the ring. Um, I was young. I was about a year younger than you, Kyron, but I remember watching it because it was me, my dad, and my older brother, and we were all watching it. Just just watching like any other thing. And when it happened, I just kind of remember my dad was like, okay, this is like a really, really, really kind of big stunt. You know, anybody who wants to do this kind of has like a sick mind to them. But when we realized that it wasn't, you know, for show, it was more like, oh man, like this is really happening. Somebody, and for a minute, you know, I don't remember exactly what happened, but from what people have told me during that time, I'm just repeating what they have told me. It was legit. I mean, people were like just sitting there in awe. They said that the stadium or the arena where they were at just got completely silent. And I remember when I was, you know, not too long ago, a couple years ago, I actually looked up the video of the whole situation, and it still to this day gives me chills. It's really, really uncomfortable to watch. And then to say a couple days later, the guy died. Like that is, for a minute, honestly, even looking at the video, I thought he died in the ring, but it turns out he died in the hotel room, which is just as creepy as it could get, honestly, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard, and it's really sad watching that too, because he was such a figure, and he was in the height. I'm sorry, in the peak of his career. You know, he won the belt from Brock Lesnar, and just the whole cheating style that he did. It was just unreal.
Mm-hmm.
And at least I could say I remember watching some matches, same I could say with a guy, I don't think I should say his name. His initials are C and B, but I can recall watching his matches, you know. And let's be real, he was a very great wrestler. Both of them had a really great connection with one another. Um, yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. So we've lost a lot of good people.
Honestly,
But, you know.
Mark, I'm not afraid to say his name. I'm not afraid to say Chris Benoit's name.
I'm not either, but it's just wrestling fans. Oh,
yeah, but that's not me.
I know that's
the
why
moment,
I'm the same way in the NFL. That's why I just say the Washington team.
the moment Eddie and Chris Benoit had at WrestleMania 20 after Benoit won the world title is still to this day my favorite moment in wrestling history. Just seeing two best friends who worked their butts off for 20 years to get that moment at WrestleMania 20. Even when you're young, you get that. You still get chills. Get chills seeing it. And at age 17, like I said, neither one of them are with us anymore. It's still my favorite moment in wrestling history.
And it's just crazy to think, at least from my memory, I know when Stephanie McMahon was giving her thoughts on that Raw show, I think it was Raw or SmackDown, one of the two, when they were doing the packages with the superstars and others sharing their thoughts. Stephanie was talking about how Eddie was talking about wanting another. So she had a meeting with him, and he was talking about wanting the title or getting a title chance again for the WWE Championship, or then, so it was WWE Championship. And stuff like that. I think maybe that was the plan at some point to have him back as that WWE champion. If Eddie was still alive today, I have a feeling either he'd be working in the Performance Center, kind of like how Shawn Michaels is doing now, or
I can see that
he'll be one to try to build up and have the cruiserweight division shine and be something of, in the Triple H still had the thought process of doing the cruiserweight division. He would go and hire Eddie Guerrero. Kind of like seeing that project, almost like how Triple H is in charge of NXT in a way, having Eddie Guerrero in charge of the cruiserweight division on in show Raw and 205 Live, maybe even specifically. I think that's where he would also shine as well, beyond being a trainer or otherwise, or any other aspect behind the scenes that Eddie would have been inclined or wanted to do. So that's just where I would have seen him if he still wasn't WWE. But there is one other big news thing that I want to bring up. I saw that Kyron brought up on Twitter, and that being with What Culture Wrestling. And he was over at What Culture, and King Ross and others, and the Adams, Jack the Jobber, and I forget the other guy's name, but they all
Sam
are.
Driver.
Yeah, Sam. Oh yeah, Sam the Shredder Driver. They're all leaving, or leaving from away from world culture, doing their own things. I'll get my thoughts first. I was kind of confused at first when I heard the news. I wasn't mad. I wasn't happy. I wasn't those. I was just confused because I assumed, and I guess in the end I'm wrong, but I assumed Adam and the Adams owned it, or they created what culture. I thought they were the ones that created the whole what culture wrestling, and that they were. And then then starting off from there, they had the what culture wrestling company now, and this and that. And I thought, oh well, so their jobs are secure forever until they decide to sell it to somebody else. Sort of thing. I mean, sometimes they do rub me the wrong way, but I respect them, and I still do. King Ross, I did always enjoy with the WTF moments each and every week for Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-view, and otherwise. Jack the Jobber, I just enjoyed because he he's a character as Jack the Jobber. Kind of being like me, one that is smarter than most, and just like getting his fair shake, at least as things are going on the show, entertainment that way. But yeah, so I assumed that. So that's why I was kind of confused when I saw the news that the Adams, Blampier, and Pacitti were a part of that list, and I'm like, don't they own this thing or something? I thought they were office people or whatever, and stuff like that. So that's why I was confused at first, and then seeing everybody's responses, and then seeing that one tweet that Kyron shared with us on Twitter, with them losing 7,000 subscribers in a day for What Culture Wrestling, and I'm sure the other What Culture YouTube channels there. That was really interesting in that sense. But I just want to get your guys' thoughts on that news. King Ross here, I bring that up because King Ross here has a tweet saying, thanks to WC for the opportunities, and thanks to the talented, tenacious editors, on-screen talent, and writers I've shared an office with. And it shows him with his Macintosh, with his Macintosh computer in the back, his crown, and robe that he wore as King Ross. There on his desk there, What Culture, and everything cleared off over around it, and it just that frame there on his Twitter. Again, you can follow on Twitter at Ross on Wrestling to see Ross on Wrestling to see that exact tweet and see that photo that I am trying to describe myself. But I want to get you guys' thoughts on the news. And I do see here Sean Goodrett talking about John O'Clock as well. Yes, I do remember that. But your guys' thoughts on the news of what's going on with What Culture, specifically in the wrestling realm. You're talking WWE. Kyron.
Well, I did my own video on this subtopic, and I'll be honest. When I first heard the news, I thought it wasn't. I didn't realize, Adam Blumpy, Adam Pacitti, Ross, Jack, and Sam were leaving. I just thought, we were getting new people on the channel. I'm fine with that. But then I read the other article that said they were leaving. I'm like, really? Literally, the 5 people that made this channel what it is are leaving, and the only person of that band, band of brothers that's still there is Simon. And, I like Simon, but Bumpier and Pacitti, especially Bumpier, made that channel what it is. That's his rebooking videos are why are one of the main reasons I fell in love with that channel. And sure, What Culture always says things I always agree with, but their videos are always entertaining, and I always love their personality. And no matter what they do after the fact, after they leave, I'm still following them on Twitter. I'm gonna watch whatever they do next. But here's one thing I will say, and I didn't bring this on my video. I wish I had. You gotta know something's going on in the What Culture offices, because if a company loses their five of their most loved and best employees all at the same time, that's not a coincidence. Something's going on in that What Culture office. And I'm not the type of person that likes to look at conspiracies, but I'm looking at the facts. You don't have 5 employees of that caliber leave just like that, and something's going on. And don't forget, Kenny McIntosh left the channel about earlier this year. So I'm starting to think, and I've heard rumors of the main boss. I forget his name. He's not a good guy to be around. He's a snake and things like that. But I don't know that for truth. But who knows? I mean, I'm disappointed because they're my favorite wrestling channel. And I'm gonna stay subscribed for now just to see how these new personalities work out. But no matter what Culture will not be the same.
Mark?
it is freaking tragic to see all of those well-known guys leave. And honestly, my man Adam Blumpete, he was the only reason why. Honestly, he and a good friend of mine, Christian. I think his YouTube channel is Chris Chronicles. Go subscribe to that channel. He is good. He's really good at what is it called? Covers of WWE theme songs. If you guys enjoy that, go subscribe to his channel. But yeah, those two really are the ones that made me watch WCPW as well as King Ross. But he was just like, oh, he was popular, but for me, he was kind of like iffy.
It was freaking hilarious.
He was. Don't get me wrong. He was really funny, but he was just. I don't know why. I couldn't get into him like other people were. But yeah, it's just sad, man. Like in WCPW, hearing somebody else's voice outside of Joe Martin and Adam Bumpy, it will be really different. It would be completely different. It won't even feel the same. You know, he was there when YouTube wasn't giving them money. You know, they got like 86 cents or something like that, or like, I don't know. It wasn't enough compared to the amount of views that they got. I think it was the Rey Mysterio Alberto Patron match. You know, they barely got anything for the amount of views that they got. And he was there when they were going through that crisis. He was there when, you know, they weren't even that big, really. And they've been on I think YouTube from what I believe for 6 years. And he was there the whole time. So I'm gonna agree with you, Carmen. Something has to be going on. Not all of them could leave, and then all of them instantly create a new type of channel altogether. I mean, something had to have been happening. Something, maybe, you know, the production. I don't know who's in charge, but maybe they had to do something with it. And the same people that left are the same people that are coming together doing something else. So it's a more internal situation. I don't think any of us will know until details come out, or maybe they just explain what happened.
I don't know if we always know the true reason. I know, as I would theorize, but I think maybe one of the reasons being that they were going to have new people on, but they were going to have them take over in shows. Like, let's just say for WTF Moments show, there specifically with King Ross, that they were going to have someone else do it for a little bit, and then have them groomed or something like that. And Ross just didn't want that, and wasn't going to be about that, or this and that with the others, or something like they were going to have a group of people coming in, and company heads wanting them to get over and been taking over, you know, in a short amount of time, and then having those people or the main people that were there be sparingly and otherwise, and they're supposed to give them rest and all this other stuff, and other reasons they might have shared, but the Adams and others didn't want to hear it, and they decided to leave. And now, you know, doing whatever project they're going to be doing together, and moving on from there. But what I always enjoyed, even more than WTF Moments or stuff like that, was the what just happened stuff after pay-per-views, kind of like a review. That Adam Bumpy usually does himself, and did himself, and then the live reactions they did as teams sometimes for the pay-per-views, and stuff like that. So I think those two things were my greatest things that I watched from theirs, from the channel and that content for Wild Culture Wrestling. So, so I certainly wish them all best luck, and forward to seeing whatever they're doing, moving on, or if they're doing a new YouTube channel and taking things from what they were doing over at Wild Culture, if they're allowed to their new channel, and just continuing it on somewhere else, or however they feel like doing it, rebranding things or whatever. And however, we'll certainly see how that all goes in the next weeks, months, and otherwise for them, and then also see who Wild Culture decides to put on. They put on new shows for the wrestling channel that would be otherwise, and have that be, as in just having a new host for the shows. Like, keep having the same shows, but having new hosts. Having somebody else doing WTF Moments, having somebody else doing the What Just Happens, have somebody else doing this and that, have them keeping those shows as their property, let's just say, and not letting this team is leaving take it to their new channels and whatever, making them change names and other things if they decide to continue whatever they wanted to continue and just in a different way. And just over at Wall Culture, you have somebody else new, just plug them right in and have them hosting and see how it goes and see if fans keep believing or if some stay and you actually gain some new ones. Who knows? You never know. But there's certainly going to be a grace period. It's kind of talking about, and others, I'm sure, that'll stay subscribed over that channel for a little bit. For me, I'm subscribed to so many channels. And I usually don't leave subscribing to any channel. Usually I don't at all. Even ones that barely post or this and that. Like if I subscribe to you, pretty much I'm going to be subscribed to you forever unless something extreme happens. Either A, your channel doesn't exist anymore, so that's in a way, automatically unsubscribe to the channel because it doesn't exist and they deleted it or whatever. And that way, on your subscription list. Or B, something extreme happens that makes me actually click the unsubscribe button because that does take some effort to do even clicking that. A little bit, but it's not. So, so you absolutely mean to do it. It's not an accidental click of something. So, so for me, when I subscribe to a channel, and like I said, I have a lot of channels that I subscribe to in a lot of different areas, whether it's for football content, wrestling here, other sports, Disney stuff, and now My Little Pony reactors and other things that I've now ventured into, Star vs. the Force of Evil reactors, and otherwise other things that I'm a part of and try to even bring up here on this channel, Sport Talk Network. But I'm subscribed to you. I'm subscribed to you for life in a way. Honestly, it's not really. I mean, it's kind of a joke, but it's not. It's just how I am. But the point being is, with What Culture, I might have this grace period, kind of like I was saying, and there might come time where if it's not even on at any level of harm, that I might actually unsubscribe. But we'll see. Probably not. Again, as I already explained, how I am with subscribing to channels on here on this site. Probably won't, but you never know, depending on how the new people do. But we'll certainly see as we get there and moving right along. As we can move right along, I think that does it here for this episode of Steve's Wrestling Ramble, here with our predictions for No Mercy and other things that we were rambling about here tonight. I thank my co-hosts for being here. I'll let them put themselves over. Sure, you can find them where they can find you on social media, YouTube, and otherwise. Let's start with Mark Rambo.
Guys, you already know where to follow me at. If you guys are familiar with this channel, I say it every time I'm here. But since I've been absent for so long, I'm going to repeat it. My Instagram is Live Like Ram. There's no caps in it because there's no caps in any Instagram name, really. They won't allow you to. My Twitter, Mark is Rambo. The M, the I, and R are all caps. And of course, my YouTube channel, if you guys aren't familiar with it, I do WWE. I will do gameplay. Actually, talking about gameplay, I just need to say something real quick. You guys are aware of it, Kyron and Steve. But in the future, let's just say this, I will be having a Tekken 7 gaming tournament. I actually probably have a couple of people who are already interested in joining, and they have hit me up. They gave me the stuff that I need. I'm going to say late 2017, early 2018 is where I will be up on YouTube if it happens, if I have enough people by a certain amount of time. If you guys are big gaming fans and have played the game before, please come hit up my social media. It will be fun, really. I'm scheduling it up. I have a lot of people who are trying to help me with it. I just want to do something different, even if it doesn't go out as planned. Hell, at least I did it. And of course, let's get back to where you guys can find me. My YouTube is MFLG Mark Rambo. MFLG stands for Macaroni Fruit Gang. Don't ask me why. It is unoriginal, which is a good thing. And I'll take it back to you, Steve.
Yes, and let's go to Kyron Chase, which you have over where people can find you on social media and what you do here or over there on your channel.
My Instagram is /bro_Kyron. My DeviantArt is Kyron Chase. My Tumblr is also Kyron Chase. My Twitter, where I spend majority of my time, is /bro_Kyron. The S and the K are capitalized. My YouTube channel is Kyron Chase, where I do videos on, of course, wrestling. Sonic the Hedgehog, where I just did a video on some of the leak and rumors about Sonic Forces, the upcoming 3D game. And of course, I also do videos on My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, a show I have gotten Steve to watch. I am looking very forward to the movie coming out in about 2 weeks. And I love being here. And as long as school doesn't get in the way, I will be here every Thursday.
Yeah, got my little point movie coming up. I probably might even be doing a review here on the channel for that. So hopefully Kyron and others will be Kyron joining me here in the hangout, but others joining in the live chat that are fans of the show. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and we'll be plan to watch a movie otherwise. So I might do that. Also, I gave Kyron his own homework assignment. Doesn't actually have to do with school, but with Star Versus, he got me to watch, or not got me, but I was interested and. He told me about it to watch My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and I got through 6.5 seasons. Kyron Chase, I gave him the homework assignment of getting through 2 full seasons and season 3 premiere movie of Star vs. the Forces of Evil to catch up there whenever he can. Again, his schedule being busier with school and other stuff, but that's his homework assignment getting caught up, because then when we get to November, when the show does come back up, I think it's. I don't think the exact date, but anyways, in November, Star vs. the Forces of Evil coming back to Disney XD. Then I can actually have a video, which I will have anyways, but have Kyron part of it, previewing, predicting, and talking about Star vs. Moving on, continuing from season 3, from all the craziness and awesomeness that did happen in the movie event that kicked off in early July for season 3. So that's other things going on around here as well. So I wanted to share that too.
Hey guys.
Since we're sharing things. So,
hey guys, talking about TV shows. I don't know if you guys watch this. I don't know if I've said it before. If you guys do not watch Flash, you guys are missing out.
Oh, Flash smash. I heard a lot of things about Flash and how good, bad, and different, and I even gave it a chance a little bit, but I don't know. Flash really wasn't my cup of tea. Now, oh, crap, no, I forgot.
It's all good, Steve. We had those moments.
That show was that's a good show.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
With Melissa Bonnier, I think her name is. As the main person there. But one show that I'm looking forward to that's coming back on Monday is The Big Bang Theory.
Oh yes. Yes. Me and you, Steve. Great minds think alike. That is one of my favorite shows.
Big Bang Theory, and then I saw the promos for Me, Myself, and I. That actually looks pretty good, as well. And then there's Kevin Can Wait, The Middle. What other shows? Modern Family. Life in Pieces coming back in November. Speechless. Already, what we have right now,
The Walking Dead. Don't forget about that one.
Yeah, I don't watch Walking Dead, so that's not.
Oh my god!
And I never also got into what's that other show that's really highly popular, but I never really cared about.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that one.
Oh, that one. I don't watch it, but my brother does. He and my dad really love it. They really, really love it. So I'm assuming it's good.
Yeah. So, but no, that Me, Myself, and I actually looks pretty good. But like I said, for Kyron, I have him with the homework assignment for Star Versus, and when I went through My Little Pony myself, going through 6.5 seasons, and actually doing that as quickly as I did, then again, I had extra time because at that time I wasn't working every day. But yeah, a lot of obviously great episodes, and he finally getting caught up with that. So hopefully he enjoys his journey through Star Versus as I did. Enjoy my journey catching up with My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. So now a good TV shows are only coming back next week. I kind of wish that Last Man Standing was still on, but it was canceled over on ABC. But still a lot of other good shows. Plus I have my Disney shows that I like to watch on Friday nights. The That's So Raven spinoff has started and doing pretty well. Raven's Home, Stuck in the Middle, and others. So I got that for Fridays. Wednesdays, I have the Wednesday comedy night over on ABC with The Middle, Speechless, Modern Family, and Blackish. The Mondays
I love Blackish.
I have Kevin Can Wait, Big Bang Theory, at least for a short amount of time, and then probably we'll go over to Thursdays. Big Bang Theory, Kevin Can Wait, and Mom, I think, is still on Mondays. And Me, Myself, and I, he's going to be over there. So certainly always, each and every day, have something to watch beyond sports and wrestling and other things. So, yeah, and I'm looking forward to hearing the updates, as Kyron said he would, the updates while he's going through Star Versus when he can and doing that. Because even for me, and I'm just going to say this honestly, and I'm sure he already knows this, I kind of said it. But I'm actually more excited for him going through this than I'm sure he is, because obviously he hasn't seen it before. But going through the journey, because I'm looking forward to hearing his thoughts on a couple of specific episodes and so that be watching. So, like I said, 2 full seasons, and then season 3 premiere started off with a movie, which technically being called the first 4 episodes, but first 4 episodes rolled into one big movie there for the premiere for season 3 of Star Versus. But yeah, that's pretty much the shows. Yeah, I never got into Walking Dead, and then the Walking Dead or the other one. I keep calling it the other one, but forget its name.
Fear of the Walking Dead. That's what it is. Fear of the Walking Dead. It's another great show. And it's crazy because, the shows that you've never watched, they said are the most watched, most viewed, and highest grossing TV shows in America.
Well, that's good for them. But I don't know. I just really, not my cup of tea. I mean, I did House of Cards. I watched from on Netflix. Fuller House. I'm looking for. Hey, by the way,
Order in the court
tomorrow. Yes, I do decree that everybody should watch Fuller House. It's back on Netflix tomorrow, streaming its 2nd season. So binge watch that if you can or care to. But
honestly, I don't plan on watching Full House when I don't have Netflix anyway. And 2, I didn't even like Full House to begin with. So I don't.
What?
Yeah, I said it. I didn't like Full House.
Oh my goodness! How could you?
Oh,
for one, I don't. For one, honestly, I don't think it's that funny to begin with. And 2,
Full House was great.
And 2, if you really want to know why, just watch the Nostalgia Critics review of the show. He does it better than I can. Don't get me wrong, I like some of the morals in Full House, and at times they did have humor, but I just found the show unfunny. My grandmother watches it every day, but I don't care for it.
Yeah, I watch it every night with the reruns on Nick at Night, so
great.
I got that.
Exactly. I watch all 90s cartoons in like 12 o'clock in the night.
Yeah, and sometimes you even have Boy Meets World on there at the late night.
Exactly.
So Boy Meets World having the great life lessons. I mean, Girl Meets World didn't have it wasn't exactly like that. It still was all right. Oh.
Order in the court.
Another show that was good that's coming back. Yes, exactly. I am the host of this show. Gosh darn it. I am the Vince McMahon here. But a show also to watch, or to give a shot, is Backstage. It's actually a Canadian show that Disney Channel took over, but the soon has new air on Disney Channel sometimes. Again, the show called Backstage. But again, like I said, Kyron has one thing to focus on, that's Star Versus for that and catching up. But Backstage is pretty good.
The only reason I honestly watch Boy Meets World, if I'm being completely honest with you, is Topanga.
Oh, well.
It's the only reason. I'm not going to lie, guys. It's the only reason why.
For a short time, Sonic Caddick was the only reason I watched Castle for the first few seasons, and then I actually enjoyed the show, and then just enjoyed the show for enjoying it. But her and her character Beckett on that show Castle on ABC, she was stunning in her own right. But I guess I can see that and understand that.
She looks amazing even today. So
yeah. All right. Well, no, but anyway, speaking of this randomness, tomorrow I'm actually on this channel. Might as well promote it since why not? Tomorrow at some point at a random time, at some point during the day, I will do a video of my second installment, actually, of random thoughts. I did it once before on my channel, so people are welcome to check that first one out to kind of understand what it is, even though it is self-explanatory. Still check it out, understand what's going on there. But random thoughts number 2, the second installment of it's going to be tomorrow. I have a couple of things already written down, so I didn't forget. So they might not be completely random, but they were random at the time when they came to my head. So I'll be talking about a lot of random stuff. And actually, let me check my list here so I can tease one of them. But it certainly will be, and I promise it will be more entertaining than it was the first one. Second installment's always better than the first, right? So, one of my topics that I already have here, that is a random thought that I'll expand upon, of course, tomorrow, being neighborhoods in rural areas and the borders, and how that all works. The property lines and this and that. Now that I actually live in a rural area, in the suburb myself, and dealing with that. So that's another thing. Again, random things. Like I said, it's random thoughts. So at one point it was a random thought, brought it down, and now it's going to be part of that video and some other things too. And the craziest times of when these random thoughts happen, like one thing happened that I do have written down, happened while I was on Instagram looking up some things, and then this and that and whatever. So definitely people are welcome to check it out tomorrow some point. Again, random thoughts too. And talking about the plethora of things. And then as the episode goes on, first I go with the ones that I already have written down in my handy-dandy notebook. And then at that point, after I go through those already pre-listed and already ready for, so aren't actually at that time totally random, but were at the time when I wrote down, then actual random thoughts, whatever I have as the show goes on, or if people are watching live and bring up some other things, and if they want to bring up things, and we talk about that. But it's certainly going to be, like I said, more entertaining than the first one was. At least I promise that, and certainly, and for sure, will be totally random. And I got this idea to do a totally random thing because I was watching, again, late nights and shows on Disney Channel. But the Sunny with a Chance show. And so the show within the show was called So Random. So just thought of, hey, go with random thoughts and just think of whatever random thoughts in your head, whether it's a serious topic or just a general whatever topic, but something that I was thinking about and that I can ramble about and talk randomly my thoughts on it. So that will be again tomorrow at some point. But for those that were watching for the WWE 2017 edition of No Mercy Pay-Per-View Prediction Show, thank you for watching, and thank you for still being here. If you are still being here, as we were rambling about TV shows and otherwise, Karen Chase's homework, watching Star Versus, and other things that we were rambling about. I thank you all for still staying here. Welcome to follow me on Twitter at WB_podcast or at R_strong_06. Subscribe here to the channel, like the video, share the video. Also, welcome to subscribe to Mark Ramble and Karen Chase as well. I thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great rest of your evening. And above all else, as always, take care.
Peace out.